Hello. Welcome to another squad line battle. No music today, straight in. Those of you who watched the recapping show with myself and No Connection yesterday will know that I'm in a hotel room tonight, so if there's a problem, I'm really sorry, but it is what it is. Can't really do much about it. There's obviously a 15-minute delay on this one as well, so if there's a problem, tell me, but I might not see the message for 15 minutes, if not longer, because I don't have two screens. I don't have any way of like watching the stream like during, so I'm gonna have to keep like alt tabbing, so the sound's gonna go a bit weird when I alt tab. You won't probably get the audio from the game, but it is what it is. We'll see what we can do. Server 2, as always, with myself, Garvnix. CARENTAN, what to say, you know, for me in my hotel room on my laptop. Couldn't have been a worse map, let's be honest. The frames are going to be potentially horrendous. The stream quality is going to be dog water, but is what it is for the third time. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I have managed to hopefully get my strat sketch all set up for you guys, just so you can at least have a look at the map today. We are probably looking at well, I say probably. We don't know what we're going to look at in terms of points. Canal Crossing, Town Centre, train station. My money will be on Canal Crossing. Don't ask me why, which is why I started saying probably. I have literally no way of telling these things, of course, but I don't know. It happens. Canal Crossing, if we're just going to talk about that one real quick, we've got the Germans coming from the right and the Allies or the Americans coming from the left here. And oh yeah, you've got to bear with my trackpad as well. Oh my god, it's going to be so bad for you guys today. But hey, you know, you get to see it a little bit, hopefully. So let's try and be positive, I suppose. So we're going to have obviously attacking lines through the water here. Tank locations like, oh, hello trackpad, come in. I'm literally on like this tiny desk in a hotel room, so sorry for all the clanking, but it's like me just trying to like move around a little bit. So we're gonna have like potentially tanks over here and like along this side, kind of looking over at Canal. This obviously is a big like line of approach for tanks coming down past pumping station. Lots of opportunity for like infantry fighting, obviously all around the back of Canal Crossing. If I just take away some of my marks here, so lots and lots of like infantry fighting areas all around the back of Canal. Also in this kind of section of buildings here. In terms of Canal Crossing, as you can see, like I don't know if I can really zoom in, but you can see that the circle is like really just around the bridge, and the only place with true, what I'd call like real cover, is like in this trench just here. So holding that area on that side of the river is vitally important, but if you can set yourselves up, especially as the axis here, if you can set themselves up like looking down into this way with like a tank, you know, coming like getting shots across with the tank here, then you can make it very, very hard to stay in that area, of course, because it is just like an open field with some trenches in it. So, and artillery as well, like super powerful there, of course, because, well, it's a field with some trenches in it. Town centre then. As always, if it's town centre, we'll see the vital importance of buildings. So you've got this building. Can I just have like a smaller thing here and a better colour? I hate this green. So you've got a building like here. Oh my goodness. I never knew how much I needed a mouse. My god, guys. Alright, so you've got a building here. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to use my little like pinger thing. So we've seen that one. I'm not going to try to draw that one again, but there's one here, and then there's one here, and then you can see this like alleyway thing, like down here is like vitally important, because this kind of building right here, like this little building here, has like a back garden and lots and lots of cover. It's probably like got the most cover in the whole of town centre, alongside maybe this building over here, but it's got a back garden that's like really a common place to build garrisons and stuff. So we'll often see like either lots of fighting or none at all if they manage to really like do a good job of Belgian gate, like putting a Belgian gate down this alley. I was going to say Belgian gating, but that's not really a word, is it, or a phrase. This building over here also has space in the back garden for an OP and some really good sight lines, especially like down towards the change my tool here real quick down towards this area, and also like killing people who are like coming in. So really kind of like important sight lines for holding the point there. Again, smoke really important. We might see some tanking, but probably not. The most likely vectors for a tank are like down this road here, or like just in through the front area here. Holding the church that you can see in the red circle here, really important, as always for this point. Then if we kind of zoom out again and just take a quick look down at train station. Now, train station's kind of an interesting one. Those of you who are following the seasonal, there's a really great game with train station as a centre point last weekend between Fins Let Loose and Team Phoenix. Fins Let Loose winning it right at the end. They were the Germans, and they were like pushing in. By the way, we're Germans today, or the Axis, so I'll make it easy and draw us in blue because that's what you'll see on the screen. So they were coming from this area, and they did like a great push down here with tanks, and the in fact, because there was like a destroy tank in the road, I think it was just like here. This cross thing's not going to work because it's like not sensitive enough, but like just here somewhere there was like a destroyed tank, and it stopped the allies from being able to actually like move up far enough to shoot the target that was inside the point, I believe. But there's some great, I don't know if it's this building here, but like one of them has a really good vantage point for machine guns. You know, you'll see probably quite a few tank battles if it's train station as the middle point today. Just briefly touching on the others before we jump into the game. On the right hand side, so the Axis side, you've got customs. Again, vitally important to hold that kind of peninsula that you see the customs is actually on, and especially once you capture it, to like push out and off that peninsula to get onto the other side, like by canal crossing, cross over the river towards rail crossing, etc. Rail crossing itself is kind of a sweaty one. It's got lots and lots of ways to get into the point at rail crossing. There's like a compound thing like out the back here. It's like way smaller than what I'm drawing, but you get the picture. That's quite powerful, as well as like out in these back gardens, like here there's lots and lots of like lines of approach through these kind of back garden areas here. And of course people have to worry about enemies coming down the road too, so there's lots and lots of lines of approach to this one. You can even come through these back gardens here, so lots of lines of approach. We'll probably see some like tank battles play out on the bottom of the screen as we're looking at it here as well, if that's the case, like along the railway. Montelay, again, we'll see lots and lots of tanks, because you know this like out here is like not open exactly, but like you can get some sight lines. You can certainly get sight lines from even across the river. Actually, not that many people do that, but you can kind of get good sight lines out across here. And for the Germans themselves, of course, like you can practically see it from the spawn. The one thing I would say is that like if it's Montelay, the one person or the one team, sorry, that gets their tank like just sat up on the top of Montelay, on this like hill thing up here, has like a really commanding view. It's like right up on like a little hill. The name Mont might give it away. So at pumping station then, over here in D4, we've kind of got a lot of opportunities again for like tank fighting. If you can get a tank across to this side here as the Germans, then it's very powerful, although you have to kind of cross the river here or like do a little trick to get underneath the river. But either way, it's kind of hard to get your tank there, but if you can, it's helpful. You can also kind of sling your tank like along the other side here or through the back gardens here, but tricky. For the allies, it's way stronger for the tanks because they're just literally coming out of their spawn down the road. They can put stuff up here. We'll inevitably, if it's pumping station, see lots of fighting up. Oops. How am I going to move this around? I don't think I even can. But like up in this like top area, kind of up here. It's not really very accurate, but you get the point. Let's take some of these lines away. And we'll jump in a game in a minute. Then we've got ruins in the middle. Again, a tricky point. You really need to have like control of the buildings, especially this one here and this one here. But you also need to be very aware, like whichever team you're playing on, you need to be very aware of like these kind of vectors of approach, like through this area, but also like through these fields here. You'll often see like a lot of attacks coming in from that area. down at derailed train then, which is the last one that we'll cover. We won't talk about the last points here today. Again, you can imagine it's quite a lot more open here. Machine guns wise, like there's a couple of good spots. I'm not so sure about the machine gun spots on this point, but I think there's maybe one back there. There's one of these buildings around here has like a broken, I don't know, window or something that you can like see out and see a lot of this. Because again, like you can see the circle is quite in like an exposed area. There's some like areas here where you have some cover. This is all kind of like soft cover or like concealment stuff, grass. There's a few like log piles and things, but there's not a lot going on. So if you can kind of get good sights on it with a machine gun, get good sight on it with your tank or whatever, then it can be really, really powerful. Okay, so let's get rid of the strat sketch then. I will try and get us in the game. Could be a problem here because my poor little laptop is gonna struggle with streaming and gaming and whatever else is going on in the background. I've tried to get rid of as much as I can. Let's get on the server. Remind myself what the password is. It's very simple today, I seem to recall. Oh, I've been newly mentioned. That's always good, always good. Somebody asking for my thing maybe. Let's just put a little link in a minute. Or maybe I'll do it in a sec. Right, so they're already in the game, so the password is that. Sorry if I'm missing like the first minutes, but getting it all set up was quite the mission. After doing my work training course and then coming back to the hotel, I had to like try and get some food as well on the way and stuff. So doing the best we can, but understandably a little bit slow here. Let's get rid of some of the stuff going on in the background. I've got a paint window open. Oh, I can't even close that because it wants me to save it. Sweet, we can close the main Steam window. Let's have a little look on here. I've got House Gangster messaging me. Stream allies. That means me. Oh well, sorry. I've already committed to streaming access. I guess I could switch. I mean, nobody else is streaming here. If you want to catch server 1, by the way, make sure you go over and check Heathen Hammer's stream. I forget if he might have changed his stream name. I'm not quite sure, but it's just look for Heathen Hammer or search in the Squadline Battle Discord under the server 2 or under announcements or somewhere. I'm sure it's there somewhere. Let me try and get us into this game then. Okay, so let's just drop this little link in here. Very, very basic today. Oh my goodness, still not loaded into CARENTAN. It's not looking good for the frames, boys. It's really not. But hey ho, is what it is. We make do. Alright, maybe I just hit the server restart, but I've now currently got 1 frame. My thing is frozen, and who knows what's going on with the stream, so sweet. Just looking at my Wagamama, like barely touched on the ground next to me. Damn, I'm hungry. Oh, please don't crash. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Come on with the CARENTAN. Let's go. Oh, there were noises. So, this isn't one of my stated stream goals, but if you want to help me get a better laptop so I can stream this a bit better when I go on holiday, then, well, on training courses for work, but when I'm away from home. I am accepting tips and subs. See those primers. Okay, well, we're getting some noises. That's maybe a good thing. Oh, my anti-cheat authentication timed out, so we'll try again. Join again. Maybe they literally just restarted as I tried to join. Okay, sweet. Now the screen's frozen again. Just like a quick recap of like what's happening in the seasonal then, whilst I try and do all of this stuff. Basically, I'll just go Axis then says, oh, what does it say? Do you need me to stream? I don't know. Yeah. Go. I'm just writing on the server. Go Axis because I'm away and on laptop, so I might crash out. And we will go with the allies, despite what we've just done in our little strat sketch, talking about like which side we're going to be what. But you'll see like when we get into it. Let me get the password again. My goodness, I had to like update the game and stuff as well. Absolutely crazy. Literally like to the wire here. So that is what it is. Right, let's see some stones from your little laptop. What do you mean wrong password? No, it isn't. Oh, yeah, it was. It's literally 3 letters and I got it wrong. That's what you get for rushing. Man, if you can see me right now, like, check out the go over to Known Connection, What the Hell Known Connection's Twitch channel. Make sure you check out the recapping that's like covering all the stuff that happened last week and the upcoming games from the spring seasonal. We've also got Muck Snapper on there, who from Gary's OnlyFans, or like part of Trirex. So really good show, like really interesting guest, great interaction from the chat and everything. But you'll get to see my setup because it's got like the face cam and everything, and I've literally got my microphone propped up on some toilet rolls right now in front of my face, trying not to make it like too hummy or buzzy for you because there's like too many power points located close by and stuff. But if I have to say it is what it is one more time, you know, take a shot. So just thinking about the tournament. Oh, let's, come on. Yes, we're in. We're in. Hopefully it started as well. I mean, I say hopefully it started. Maybe it. Oh my God, what's the? Yeah, it has started. Okay. All right. Well, I was totally wrong then. Let me get in the game here. Spawn us in. Hopefully I've been given the admin perms on this account. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, a couple of seconds. Sorry about the artillery sounds, they'll go in a second. Alright, now, the next challenge, where's my home screen? Okay, no perms, that looks good. So good. Tried to set it up for you here today. Oh, we have got it. We have got it. So weird. Oh yes, the trackpad of joy. Vom. Okay, well I'll try not to like move the camera around too much. Just get out of earshot of the artillery a little bit, for goodness sake. So I can take the overlay off, and you can see it's train station. Sorry, I've missed the setup here, but you can see that they've kind of got the so we're blue axis. I'm not sure what it says on the top corner of the screen now. We'll have that alt tab in a sec to make sure all of the icons are right. I think axis is marked as blue, but we're looking at allies in blue today, so I'll change that in a second. But the allies just taking train station now. You can see they've kind of set up a good perimeter around derailed train. They've got their garrisons up well already. It looks like Quicknix is maybe streaming on the other side, so make sure to go and check his stream out if you want to see the locations of the garrisons from the other side. Obviously he'll have a 15-minute delay as well, but you'll kind of get more of an idea of the full layout of the game. Now, train station, like we spoke before about tanks, but there's basically no tanks around there except right in the point. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Let me just jump out, take a quick look at the Streamlabs. Oh, no. There we go, now you can see it. Then we will just move these little icons around so you can kind of tell who's who. But yeah, looking at the map, you can see that they're dropping their supplies already in, what's that, H4. Sorry about the sound, because I'm on Streamlabs, so I've got to just like have no sound for a moment and watch it on this tiny little screen. Let's go this one, move this one over here. So they're dropping their supplies, it looks like, in H4, looking to get a bit of a pressure on already over there. Let's get back to the game. So rail crossing, they're going to want to be kind of pushing. You can see House Squad. I'm not sure who that is over there in House Squad. There's going to be a lot of map today, boys, by the way, because, or people, I should say. House Gangster should have known. Going for the crazy flank, build a Gary, get the pressure on really quick, go for the kind of steamroll. Look at this garrison formation as well, like really, really kind of defensive, but also offensive. So this nice square around derailed train, allowing, you know, even if one goes down, it allows them to get back in hopefully nice and quickly. Although, like, these are a little bit far away for really getting back super fast, but we'll see if they last. This one up on the hill over here in E8 is a really good position for that. And this one putting pressure in E6, so basically like between rail crossing and train station, so putting this pressure, this front line. You can see that there's some infantry markers on Mike's marker there. So there'll be enemies kind of like running in that straight line between, so it's important, it's always important in this game to like meet the charge head on. Like, it's called Hell Let Loose. Somebody in this game, whatever map you're on, has to be in hell at some point. Like, you can't, it's all very well going for these crazy flanking plays, but like unless you've got a good front line and you've got pressure like between the 2 points, you're going to end up collapsing. We can see that the Allies are actually coming around the back as well now, where the Gulf outpost is hot, and they've got this enemy infantry marker down from the commander. I'm not sure who is the commander today. Empire, it looks like. Yeah, so Empire from Italy. I'm not sure about the other team. Let me try and move us to somewhere we can actually see something happening. Okay, so we kind of want to go over here, probably to the command. I don't know. They've taken. It looks like that threat might have been neutralised now. Like, these lot have turned around. It was MPIT's infantry marker, so maybe it's just a recon. I'm pretty curious what House is going to do over at these supplies, but try not to be like too paralysed here. Oh, let me just change these options for you real quick so you can see. Where is the HUD? Always on. Okay, so 1 hour 20 remaining. We're 10 minutes in already, but you know, sometimes that happens. Derailed train then, getting a little bit of action. Oh my god, the trackpad. Over on the Gary, it looks like maybe it's just one recon squad over here. Derailed train kind of causing some problems. Let's just nip over to train station. Yeah, holy frames, right? I just got 12 frames. I saw that in the top right corner. Friendly commander going down here, but they're all over train station, it looks like. We are, if you can kind of see right here, like we're inside, oops, I pressed the button, but we're inside the train station. On the map, I'm sure there's a way of like just raising up in the air. And so I just press control and move down on the ground, but bear with me. Obviously no mouse or anything either, just on the laptop. Let's try and get the tanks highlighted so you can see them. So you've got 75 to the right here, in green. I'm not sure, I can't see what these guys are highlighted. Try and get everyone highlighted for you. I think that's it. We'll see when there's another tank rolling up, but they've meeting some pretty heavy resistance, like pretty close to train station here as well. House failing to get them to the supplies, and there was some more supplies that I saw getting dropped over here somewhere. They seem to have gone down as well. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there. He's still got his OP up here, House. Doing a good job of kind of filtering through these buildings, it looks like, the Axis, so Axis in red, Allies in blue. Kind of filtering into these buildings, but they are getting held back here at train station. I mean, ideally, I would say that the Allies, they want to have, so that's who we're following in blue here, they want to kind of get their squads to, like, they need people obviously back here in the circle, because like always you need people, somebody in the circle, because of the capping power advantage that you get. But ideally I would say that they kind of want to think about clearing out these buildings in this area. Like, it's difficult because there's a lot of other ways that they can come in here. This is a bomber one, yeah. Okay, so that's the Axis bomber one there, trying to clear out the point, but it's actually a little bit deep. It's kind of missed quite a few of these infantry, but accompanied by a good push here, it looks like, from the Allies, but the Axis, excuse me, in red, but they're almost getting bombed themselves, although that's too deep as well as it goes. So they are doing a good job of filtering through those buildings and into the train station. It's always tough fighting around this kind of corner here. You can see like they have to push up this road. There's like a little rail bridge here. You have to like push up the road, try and get either up into these buildings here or like through the gate. You know, you can't just kind of jump over this fence or anything like that. You can come from this other side, but as you can see, it's very, very open. Somebody's trying it there. I don't see who that is. Bohemian. Try and sort out the opacity of the nameplates here in just a second. We were seeing a cap just then on rail crossing, and they have got squads inside, so I'll nip over there real quick. We're stuck on the one camera speed as well because I don't have a scroll wheel, so yes, this won't be a regular occurrence, I assure you. Just a one-off, but you know, we've got to be dedicated over here. Got to bring you your squad line battle every Tuesday. For those of you who are new or just kind of seeing what squad line battle's about, if you're just like trawling around, looking for something to watch, the way that squad line battle works is that it's not like a full competitive game. It's basically like a public game for people that know what they're doing. So each week on a Wednesday, the application becomes open. Boss and Dragster, the organisers, massive shout out to them as always, but they open up the applications on a Wednesday, and you can join like anyone can join. There's 2 whole servers, and basically you need to the rule is you need to join as a squad, so you can play anything you like, but you need to kind of like bring some people with you basically, unless you're playing Commander, in which case like please, we need commanders, like come along. Just come play alone, it's fine, but otherwise, you know, you want to see, and if we look here you can see on the left here, like obviously in this update you can't see who's in what squad on the other side. It might be Bullseye Commander, you never know, on the other side, but you can see that like all these people are like in communities together kind of thing, like they have the same clan tag, but you don't have to be in a clan. You see here we've got a Phoenix player playing with some DC, we've got Alex, one boss, playing with those same squad. You know, we've got some Don D, they're trying out a recruit here with Flood of Colour. We've got Hell Let Loose Italia alongside just some like mates probably that he's playing with, the squad leader. So basically you can play anything you want, whether that's, you know, armor, infantry, recon, commander, whatever you like. You just kind of got to come with some people, and like I say, it's a format where people know what they're doing. That is the strength of this. So what you tend to see is like a lot more communication, a lot more coordination than you would in a regular public game, but you're not seeing the really, really advanced strategies and all that stuff that you might, I mean sometimes we do, don't get me wrong, but like each commander, for example, only has like 5 or 10 minutes to brief the teams like before the game starts, so you're somewhat limited in what you can do, and also somewhat limited in obviously like playing experience together and knowing what different squads might be good or bad at. So it comes down a lot, you know, and whenever we talk to commanders, we'll try and talk to some of the commanders later, but I'm not sure it's going to work out. Like whenever you're commanding on squad line battle here, you kind of have to accept that if you try and micromanage everything and like come up with some real elaborate play, like it may well not work out. Sometimes it does, don't get me wrong, but oftentimes it won't, and you have to like give some of the sort of power and the authority to the squad leaders kind of, and that makes it like a really enjoyable experience, both to play and to watch, I think, because you know, we see some real like ingenious stuff going on, and oftentimes like it's not under the control of the commander, it's not part of some grand scheme or plan, it's just like spur of the moment they came up with this amazing strats, like awesome play, and we get to see it in action. So looks like it's pretty well spread out over here, the allies in blue. Looking for some Axis players, but I don't see any over here, so bit of a red herring for them. But what that does mean is that you know, they're kind of out of position as far as train station goes, and actually this garrison is warm below us. Okay, it's only 2 players, but it's a 2v2 or at best a 2v3 here. But they are funneled through their gate, so they've kind of got a bit of a disadvantage. You can see the garrison just below us by this this rifleman who just got a kill, in the blue rifleman. I will just try and change the opacity of stuff and like how far we can see people's names, because it's always nice to see people who they are and shout them out. Let's have a little zoom in here. Holy frames. Okay, so maybe spotted the garrison here, but it's a great, like this angle here underneath these barrels or whatever, like the gas tanks. It's like such a good angle for shooting people's ankles off. And of course, time to kill in this game is like one bullet, one kill, like even in the leg. So like you can really slap people through there. Okay, where would it be? Hard markers? No, nameplates. There we go. So let's take this off icons only so we can actually see people's names, and then get a little bit more solid colour. Hey, Jubei. So, talking about communities and stuff, Jubei is the leader of Demos. So Demos means democracy, basically, in Greek, and it's like a democratic community. Don't want to say clan, it's not 1995. But a democratic community where they're actually having elections very soon. So Jubei may not be the leader of the community very much longer, although he has been a good one, so he might get re-elected. I'm not sure if he's running. But make sure you go check them out on the main Hell Let Loose Discord. You can kind of see, like, there's a page called, I'll check it in a sec, but it's like recruiting or something, and it's literally got like every single community basically from Hell Let Loose. Let me check it for you. And then I'll check, see if the stream's working. Okay, where is this called? Something or other. Hello. My thing is being so freaking slow. It's called Community Divisions Recruitment. So PC Divisions Recruitment. So go on there, make sure, or even I think there's a PlayStation one as well, so, or console division, sorry, recruitment. So if you're playing on console, of course, like, go check the console one out, but if you're on PC, to check out the PC divisions recruitment, you can get all the info about the different squads and stuff there, which is pretty cool, I think. Okay, so hopefully the stream is looking all right. I mean, obviously this my little things here in the corner are pretty far off. Let me just try and sort that out a little bit. Goodness me. We'll try and get back into the game. Won't take too long. Oh my god. Okay, so starting to see a bit of a cap now on rail crossing. Make sure you check out Quick Nicks, of course, streaming the other side if you want a bit more of a like smooth experience potentially. Great guy, great caster. Heathen Hammer for server 1, but you can see these two tanks like lined up on the road beneath us. You've got the light tank here, the Stuart, and then is that 76 or 75? 75 still up, so impressive stuff for them to still be up, but they're basically right in the middle of rail crossing. And you can see what I was talking about before. Oh my god, sorry about the like horrendous trackpad skills here. But you can see, so this is the rail crossing. And you've kind of got this building here on the left where we've got Make, Ari, etc. fighting Perch and Misven. Then you've kind of got this central building with like the compound thing that I was talking about before, where Mare is from Things Let Loose. Then all of these angles of attack that we were discussing through the back gardens over here, where Brow is, where Popra is, and all through like underneath us. And of course, like I talked about as well, you can come through over here where Boris is and actually get around to kind of where Quick Nicks is at the moment. I'm not sure if, I feel like it was Quick Nicks who's also streaming. Maybe I've like shouted him out completely wrong twice. That would be pretty troubling. Let's have a little look. Oh, maybe it's Ninja Pulver. I'm just talking absolute rubbish. Just like in such a rush, I didn't even see who it was. Pretty funny. Let's have a look. Server 2, feedback server 2. Oh yes, DC. So not Quick Nicks at all, but do go drop Quick Nicks a freaking follow. But if you want to see the other camera, it's Ninja Pulver. My mistake, and very sorry. So rail crossing going down then to the allies. A lot of that probably down to this kind of advanced tactic of like pushing through, getting around behind. Can't see where House is now. He was in Howl's squad or Howl's squad. Sorry about that, I will retire immediately after this stream. Don't give up the day job, you're not a comedian. interesting position here for these. This is like the counterattack. I guess they got a garrison by Hellfire or somewhere around this ditch, so they're kind of going for the counterattack. But I don't know if they realise that there's this airhead down here in H8. Whenever you see House playing, like, you know that the steamroll is intended. Whether or not he manages to pull it off, like oftentimes it doesn't work out, but when it does, it can be pretty spectacular. I'm guessing these guys have seen it fall over here. This can be pretty obvious here. It looks like Elwha here is kind of pushing towards it. We've got some amazing smoke effects going on below us. Holy crap. I don't know what the purpose of the smokes exactly is here, but they've managed to get it in. Oh, I've completely missed it. Look, he wasn't even running over to it. So yeah, they've managed to like spawn loads of people over here. You can see the squad leaders all got Liege over there, Havoc. Oh, massive thanks to Don D as well, I should say, for providing the server today, and probably Core for server 1, I'm not sure, but I know this one's Don D, so like massive shout out to them, big thanks. These squad leaders placing their outposts then, you can see they've actually built a garrison here to try and ensure that people can continue to spawn in here. They are losing rail crossing, possibly to that counterattack over there. You can see the bombing run's about to come in, so we'll just check that out in a second, see how effective that is. Don't think I heard it already. Here it comes. So interesting vector for the bombing run. You can kind of see it's like pointed back towards the bridge. Whether or not that's enough to take out their garrison, I'm not sure. Check out Ninja Pulver. Definitely not quick nicks for the map of the other team. Oh my god, my trackpad is just not playing ball. But they are pushing in pretty hard over here at rail crossing, so doing a good job, the Axis here, of counter-attacking. Whether or not they can kind of make it work out, I think like the critical thing here for the Allies is to get as many people as possible inside the circle, because each person that's inside the circle, why does it do this when I try and scroll in and out? Each person that's inside the circle is actually providing like triple the capping power of those people outside of it. Oh my god, so okay, so we can kind of change the speed, got you, but changing the speed also changes like the elevation as well. Interesting. Okay, so the cap power of anybody who's inside one of these black circles is 3x the capping power of somebody who's not inside. It looks like they've kind of twigged on to the fact that there are enemies coming from this way, and this Don D squad here, or Matadero and Kembrau are kind of pushing out this way. Vadi as well are kind of pushing out this way, but it's, even if they don't get the steamroll here, get the 5-0, what having a garrison so close to La Maison des Ormes means is that they're constantly putting pressure on this 5th point, and by doing that they reduce the number of Axis who can actually push up to rail crossing. I suspect that there's probably a good amount of tank action going on over at rail crossing, so I'm trying to zip over here. I just literally saw a Howl marker go down there for a tank that's just spawned in at the centre spawn. Yeah, we can kind of see it moving from right to left there across the river. Just slightly highlighted in red, although I'm very sorry for the quality of the the graphics today, but you know, laptop life. Yeah, don't have the old 3070 today, unfortunately. But yeah, you can see the tank over there. Let's see if there's any more marks. Dogs kind of just piled their marker on top. Important because your squad mates can only see the marker that you place as a squad leader. They can't see other squad leaders' markers, so you can see Mike, Hal and Dog have all put their markers down kind of where they believe the tank to be, although Hal marker is actually the only one that's accurate now. So updating those markers, keeping the comms open, making sure that people understand that it's moved so they can move their markers and there's not false markers lying around. Very important, especially for coordinating tanks. You know, they don't want to be kind of rolling out of cover to get sight lines on a point that's not actually where the tank is, and then they get shot from some other angle, of course. But doing a good job over here. I mean, you can see they've really pushed out through rail crossing now, the Allies underneath us in blue, and they're kind of being able to force back some of the Axis into these kind of buildings in the fields. Even this tank is like pretty... There are 2 tanks there, so the Tigers here, I'm not sure if that's a Panzer IV as well, yeah, Panzer IV as well. Even the Tigers are having to kind of stay back, because without infantry support, especially on that bridge, like they could be in real trouble. I'm very surprised that there's not an AT gun been built over here. underneath us somewhere, because the AT guns in this patch are very, very powerful. They do still have supplies, I can see over there at rail crossing. Try not to zoom in too much on the map, because of course it messes up the speed and everything and the elevation of the stream cap. But just kind of want to check what's going on below us over here at La Maison, because I hear a lot of gunfire. It looks like they've actually managed to push up and take out this garrison now, behind the buildings on item infantry marker there, and item getting absolutely smashed to pieces as well. And you can see, because they were under such a heavy attack, they had the Axis over here in red, they've had to bring so many people back here and give up on their attack for the moment on rail crossing, although I can see that garrison behind it in F5 is actually red hot, just under the mouse here. And there's an infantry marker there too. I guess somebody just saw it go hot. They're going to try and kill whoever that is with the strafing run. They might have enough time, because it's in the E and F columns. It's in the train station kind of sector, as it were. It's not quite in the sector, but it's like in those two columns, and so it takes whoever's on it longer to take it down. But I guess they heard the plane come and jumped off it and have got back on it, so they're probably taken down now. There's nobody there to stop them. But they are kind of pushing around the back, or trying to push around the back of rail crossing here. The Axis, you can see Vicox, El Professor, Thisor, Theoser, sorry. Is that Sotiri? Yeah, Phalanx, Sotiri, Papa, how do I say it? Papagio. I always pronounce his name wrong. I'm so sorry, bro. He's literally been on the stream, like, we've known each other for like a year at this point. Like, I get it wrong all the time. We're just calling him Papa, but shout out to him and all the Phalanx guys, Greek community, like really great bunch. Got the What the Hell squad over here as well, Abaddon as well, just like kind of by himself, great player, Reform gamer there, possibly one of the best players in the game at this point. So great shooter. You don't want to be letting him get into the circle here. Make, also a good player, Jubei, also a good player, so hopefully they'll have what it takes. But La de Lappen, who's just moving in there, is excellent. Abaddon is excellent, so they do manage to take out Make, but his squad is kind of still there, although they get shot on their OP, and I guess they're going to take that OP out now, although they did trade with at least one of those people. And so often, like, just trading is really, really important, because, you know, if you've got the spawns in the point here and you can trade with some of these players who are pushing in, then you're taking it from like a 3v1 or 3v2 down to like a 2v, whoever's now spawning in. And we've just seen like 3 or 4 players spawning in below us, able to kind of deal with a couple of those players out on the train tracks and kind of put a little hold on that attack. Although looking over at La Maison, there's a pretty significant cap going on below us, but I'm not quite sure how at this point, because Item Squad seem to be the only ones there. They were capping it quite significantly a moment ago. Rail crossing still kind of contested. I sort of want to go back over to rail crossing, because I don't think too much is going to happen here. The Axis are going to just have to keep putting their guys back, you know, redeploying over there and taking them off the attack. But you can see a nice little kind of pincer movement going on here with AMT, What the Hell DP, Imolol, etc. sort of on the far side as we're looking at it. Let's get the map up. So we're in G6 right now. You can kind of see the little like throbbing camera thing. So we're kind of looking basically east. So you can see like to the east side of rail crossing, like the far side, there's quite a few Axis players over there. But there's also this Phalanx squad below us, Thunderk, etc., who are pushing into the rear. And that's what we're talking about earlier on the map. You can see that, you know, you've got Mike and King squads in H6 for the Axis, but obviously there's going to be for the Allies, excuse me, but there's obviously going to be Axis squads there too. You've got some players over in H5, numpad type 9 and 6, by that tank marker, Charlie tank marker, or Mike tank marker. You just see this tiger rolling in below us. If you see to the there, just fired a shot. Interested to see what they'll do with that, especially as they're kind of closing this pincer now. But you know, keeping that front line down where King Squad is, over where the garrison is in H4 as well, keeping those kind of front lines. The last point's always a weird one, right? Because usually, so for example, derail train to train station, the line of attack is normally very obvious, and the line of flanking is kind of obvious, but it's like they're either going to go above or below as we're looking at it on the map, so like north or south basically. But only a small number of their players might do that. When you get to the last point where you see Dog Squad Leader in J4, there's a spawn. There's also a spawn, of course, in J6. There's also a spawn in J8. So you're always having to fight at least, like for defending, that is, you're always having to fight at least 2 spawns worth. So you always kind of know that there's like 2 front lines, as it were. It's not just a simple fact of like running between La Maison des Ormes and Rail Crossing, which it is, and you do need a front line there, but you also have these 2 like additional kind of vectors of definite attack, which are from the 2 spawns, and especially important to cover because of course that's where the tanks are going to be coming from. So often very, very tricky when it gets to the last point, you know, unless you can capitalise on it quickly. It often comes down to sort of defending very well, keeping the pressure up on the final point, and then taking advantage of the opportunities where you can get them. You also suffer from the fact that you can't drop artillery on the last point. You can if it's your own last point, which can be a problem if you're very quick on the kind of redeploy. The tank just got shot there. Below us, this Tiger. Not sure who they're shooting at. Is there it could be a tank that they're fighting with. I don't want to miss it. That Panzer as well back in the field, laying waste to somebody. Sounded like there was a tank near us. Of course, I said before, like up on this hill below us, it's really, really important. Yeah, there is a tank. Tiger tank just here below us. Or, sorry, 76 just here below us. I keep forgetting that we changed teams. Along with, you see Vistic there, like literally right next to this half track, which is like a mobile redeploy point. He's just like marking it, trying to tell the team, oh my god, they've got a half track over here, they've got a 76, etc. Sorry about touching the mic there, but smashing the table and touching the mic. So. But yeah, he's locked in combat over here with the oh nice, he killed the Panzer IV. The Tiger is down too. I don't know if that was the infantry or whether that was amazing shooting there from the 76, but those tanks are cleared out, so really, really helping the Allies here to consolidate in Rail Crossing. They're not losing it anymore. They have got somebody inside the middle of La Maison, but I'm not sure that's really like a thing. No, it doesn't look like they're seriously capping it, but they do have tank support now, like I mentioned, off the top of that hill. You know, they have got machine gun fire kind of covering them. They've got potential high explosive shells coming in here on Abaddon and Ronan, kind of clearing out those areas so they can push down the stream, because the stream is like the best cover, you know. Wow, okay, yeah, exactly. Hellfire and Elwha here as well, probably going to get taken out in just a second, I suspect. They're doing a good job though of trying to get those trades, but they do go down. I'm not sure if that was Phoenix or Weltmeister or Alex. Could have been Alex. Yeah, it seems like he's got BAR. But Weltmeister and Raby are able to get into the building actually over here, and I see supplies going down, which suggests that the garrison is down for the Germans. Interesting stuff. We'll pop over to Rail Crossing again in a minute, because I can see the garrison behind it is actually hot. Hopefully the stream's working okay. I will just check my messages. Normally somebody will message me if it's crashing. Oops. Nice, just a bit of alt-tabbing. Alt-tabbing like crazy over here. Hopefully it should be alright. I mean, it seems okay to me, but let me know in the chat if there's a problem. I hear the bombing run coming in. Oof. Okay, so this is the Axis bombing run. Trying desperately to get that garrison. They know where it is, obviously. We just saw Greaves and who's this Gandhi spawn in over there. They know that there's spawns there. They want to clear them out. That was a bit of a desperate bombing run in a way. I didn't hear the recon plane go over the top, so kind of not supported by a recon plane, which always makes it slightly less accurate, or usually makes it slightly less accurate unless you really know where people are likely to be, or it's obvious, or you've got good infantry markers on the ground, like from the infantry squads or whatever. But they're still trying hard over here at Rail Crossing, the Axis, to kind of flank it round. You still got this phalanx squad coming in from the rear. The Demos boys back here, though, kind of trying to take them out from you know, push through. Empit's kind of maybe taken command here and said, look, we're getting flanked. They've been here ages. We need to just push through this area, clear them out. But you can see over here, this is actually where they are, the phalanx squad, PKKA, so a Russian community there. Play a lot of squad line battle. They're pushing down here on the road, so kind of not really in the same area. That was a recon plane though, that we just heard going over the top, and that was our friendly one, so that allied recon plane, and it's highlighted some people over there in kind of F and G4, you can see, but they basically had the markers there already. The one person that is kind of highlighted of interest to me is this one here, right by Rail Crossing, in H5 keypad 1. That will probably end up in Thunder getting shot if somebody's attentive to the map, because he's kind of not really moving right now, and he's kind of getting pushed up on, as I said, by this Demos full squad. And again, you know, we can see the strength of squad line battle at play here, because you've got a whole squad pushing together. You know, you've got an entire squad of Demos guys that play together all the time, pushing this area. They should know Thunderk is here from the map. I won't zoom in too close because that will start messing with the elevation and stuff, and I have to slow down. Getting a little cheeky kill there, Thunderk. I didn't see who it was that actually went down. Yeah, see, it's too sensitive now. But Mork, he should know that somebody's here, and he gets Snill as well. Like, this is the problem with you know, you've got to look at the map, and it's only the squad leaders who can see the blips on the map in this update, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There was a time when everybody could, and before that it was only the squad leaders. Okay, so here's the bomber run. Hey, here's the bomber run over here on the Maison. This is our friendly one, the allied bomber run. Sorry about the frames. Get on the trackpad and whatever. I'm going to keep apologising. You understand what it is at this point, and what it is what it is. I've said it again, take a shot. So they've got a few people in the point here. If Alex can get a machine gun up, oh my god. But Perch takes him out from the window, importantly for their team. It's a shame they couldn't get a tank pushed up. Possibly the 76, excuse me, is still on this hill. We can see it just below us actually in green. Just here, if my trackpad decides to recognise my finger. House Gangster over here running this recon squad. We can kind of see pushing constantly trying to probe, get around the side. He's even got the half track with him at the moment. Good shooting there, great shooting from the 76 it looked like. They've got a fall back, they did take a hit. They're in a great position though, because these barbed wire fences will clip shots, so any of the Tiger shots that come in and really pose a danger, there's a chance that they might just get like clipped on the barbed wire and explode before they do any damage, so long as the tank crew haven't jumped out to try and repair, which they have, but that's why they fell back. Okay, so just looking over here then, it looks like I was just kind of going a bit further back to see if that flank was still on, but it looks like they've kind of cleared it out pretty well over here at Rail Crossing. And again, that's the benefit of having a good pressure on La Maison. You know, like we saw them get into the buildings there, we saw how many of their players spawned, the Axis spawned at the HQ to push up on La Maison. Like, that means that they're not attacking. If they're behind La Maison pushing up to try and defend, they're not attacking, are they? So great stuff. Around Rail Crossing, we'll just touch on the garrison position. So we've got this one in H4 that's been there a while, next to Fox Outpost in kind of numpad 3. Yeah, that's a decent spot. Like, you know, we've spoken briefly about how there's kind of more than one front line. The same can be said of the garrison in H6, keypad 3 or keypad 6, however you look at it. Same thing, so it's a direct line between La Maison and Rail Crossing. Might make it somewhat obvious in a way, but like, it's there to provide that front line. They've also got the half track, as we can see, that house just spawned in on in H8, down by the tank, like down at the bottom there. They've got one in H7 as well, garrison, which is kind of an additional attacking garrison, but they've managed to get one up in J6, which is great stuff, although being on the other side of the river is kind of a blessing and a curse. It's a good thing, because when you build a garrison in enemy territory, and one single enemy player within 200 meters of it or within 100 meters, excuse me, is going to make it go red hot and blocks people from spawning on it. Oh, we just saw the garrison go down in H6 on the Gulf infantry marker, Gulf move marker. So that's again, like, you know, that direct line between La Maison and rail crossing. And what's probably happening? Let's have a little scroll over there if we can. But what's probably happening is all those players that spawned to defend La Maison are now just pushed through La Maison. Yeah, and they're like pushing towards the point out from that attack vector. You can see it's probably Elwahir here underneath us, who took out the thing on Gulf infantry marker, the garrison. Yeah, I've only been playing for like 3 years, guys. Thousands of hours in the game, level 200 and something. You know what I mean? Can't remember bloody name of the garrison. It's totally fine. Literally like streaming 3 times a week at the moment, or 4 times a week sometimes. Like, can't remember the name of the garrison. Unbelievable. But yeah, you can see now that this is spawn blocked over here in J6, and that means that nobody can spawn there. Like, if it's in a blue sector, then people only have to be within 10 meters of it to get it spawn blocked like that. Which obviously, like, so this one here, they're very sensible to build it in the blue and not in the red, because it's gonna stay up and active like way longer. This one, obviously they're going for the flank, so they've got to build it back in the enemy lines, but they're trying to build it as far away as they can, both from La Maison and from the spawn points, to try and stop it from getting spawn blocked. But even then, as you just saw, like, it's very easy for that one to get spawn blocked, but that is kind of the nature of the beast a little bit. And actually, I think it's one of those cases where really careful play with the half track, if you can get it into one of those spots, because it doesn't get proxied like as closely as the garrisons, it can be really useful to get it there, but you've got to get it there, and that can be really hard, especially like you've got to drive literally past. You can see on C marker here, basically next to the railway here in J6. That's like literally where their tigers are spawning, so can be really hard. You know, there's not a lot of ways across the river either on this map in particular, so tricky to get a half track back there. But on lots of maps, and even going the other way over here, I would say, especially kind of going this way, like if you can get the half track back here instead of building a garrison, it's probably a better idea. But not least because if it does get proxied, you can just move it to somewhere where it isn't proxied anymore. MP asking for extra nodes, so you can see the nodes here in B3, in B5, but they've only got the 2 sets, which is kind of limiting a little bit their resources, although they're not doing too badly. You can see that their lowest thing is munitions, so that's funding the bombing run, funding the strafing run, funding the artillery. We've got nobody on artillery at the moment. Again, that's because they can't artillery into this red section. You can see they've all kind of pushed out at this point, so they don't really need to be artillerying into the blue, but they can't do those last 2 columns. Sensible, I think, from the game devs there to kind of prevent that from being a thing. But that's never been a thing as far as I know. Always been kind of blocked from RTing that. Okay, so we've got 44 minutes left on the clock, just under 45 minutes left to go. Done a very convincing job. Did you just see all of that? Like, watch this railway. Ridiculous. We've seen them do a great job of defending rail crossing here a couple of times, and vice versa. We've seen the Axis do a fantastic job of defending La Maison. Not an easy point necessarily to defend, although you do have the advantage of having some good cover pushing up, but you can see that it's in I column, which means clearly it's closer to blue territory than it is to if they've got to spawn back here at the HQ. They've got to run all the way over here, whereas we saw like the garrison before was like over here somewhere, right? So, or like just here on Gulf, where Jubei is, in the blue, meaning that they, you know, the allies underneath us can like spawn here and run to here. You know, each of these squares is 200 meters, so that's like 120 meters or something that they've got to run, versus, well, over 200, I'd say, for the defenders. So got a good job of defending that point. Like, it could easily have been lost a couple of times, but again, it's one of those things where like the price of defending is less attack. So it's kind of in some ways like the best form of defense. Oh, great. So that's that same 76 that we just saw taking out the tank below us on Howard marker. I'm not sure there's another tank down here. Don't think so. There was another tank there, but that's just got absolutely slapped as well. So let's go and check who's actually in this tank up here. because maybe we'll sit with them for a little moment and give them a shout out. They're playing fantastically. Alright, it's like over here somewhere below us. There he is. That's the chap there. Okay, so hello. Where's the middle of the screen? There you go. Okay, so chill music, Strass, bars. Have it. You can see that this elevated position is such a powerful spot. Let's have a little look on the squads here. Oh, they just got shot. Oh, get another kill. Let's find them on the thing. They must be absolutely cleaning up in here. Yeah, look. What a score. What a fantastic score. And in defensive sector as well, so because they're sitting in the blue, they get defensive points. And defensive tanky in this game is like kind of the meta at the moment. Having watched like a lot of competitive games at the moment, you know, watch this squad and battle every week. Seems like defensive tanking is where it's at really. Like if you can tank well, if you have the patience to sit there and be defensive with the tank, like just look how powerful it is. I mean, he's supposed to take out I don't know how many tanks, 4 or 5 tanks probably at this point. Ooh, they just got shot at from the left. That was somebody trying to have a pop in the half track. I'm not sure where that came from. I wish I could see the other map. Sometimes we can get the other map up. If I was at home or with the other setup and everything, then I could probably try and get the other map up. But a bit tricky. Did I just hear something go down below us? Ooh, okay, they took a hit now though. That was a big shot. And again? From who? There's some crazy shots coming in. Is that an AT gun all the way over here? Oh my god. That's incredible. And this just goes to show like how powerful these freaking AT guns are. Let me... Oh my god. Oh, they're getting attacked. I want to see them win. Sorry about the crappy thing here, but MP, it's not standard for it. It's like, nah, that's my tank up there, you cheeky monkeys. That's great play though with the gun here, the in-place gun, because they're so powerful now in this update. Just a couple of shots on the 76 up here and it'll go down. I'm not sure if it is down. It's not down. But they definitely had to fall back. They definitely got down. They've got one coming in here from the allies. They're trying for this last push. They want to get a fight now. They're playing hard. They're not messing about. You know, we've got 40 minutes left on the clock. If they can get in there, consolidate inside the point, they've got it all to play for here. I can just see a Panzer IV rolling up behind Perch, so that'll be interesting. If Serious can get something going on below us, we had Serious on the stream before when he was commanding, you can see that all piling into that black circle. Oh god, I've messed up, haven't I, because I've changed the speed of the camera. They're trying desperately to get up there. It's only Boris over here in the truck, but he can place an OP. It looks like Lockcast may have placed his OP just there as well below us. Pirch as well perhaps. The Tiger I see moving on the left too. Baker puts down the marker on the 4. Still these shots coming in from the 76 just behind us. I'm not sure what this other tank is over this way. It might be another 76. Or maybe it's an AT gun. Yes, an AT gun over here. So we just saw the shot from the strafing run coming out. That's a friendly strafing run, an allied strafing run. But again, you know, they can't get into the point there. It's one of those cases where, you know, because it's the last point, you can't artillery, but like good artillery with smoke shells, like these kind of points, they're so much easier to take when you can smoke them out with like an absolute wall of smoke, but you know, you can't when it's the last point like this, so always really tough fighting at the last point, like unless somebody really gets the drop on it kind of thing and they're completely caught out of position, like it's often really tough fighting for the last point. But the Panzer IV below us might be going to go down. Let's try and get back over the friendly tank. Where is he? Just below us. Oh, okay. Why did he fall back? I'm going to follow them. They're taking shots. Hello? Why do you follow them? Hey. So let's just open up the map. You can see that this garrison over on F5 is hot right now. which is interesting. It looks like they're still trying to attack despite being absolutely hammered on the Maison. And again, that's because, you know, this squad line battle is teams that know what they're doing. Alright, it's kind of like a public game, but people know what they're doing, and that means that they know what I said. To defend effectively, you have to be putting pressure on the forward point too, because if you're not, their whole team is attacking you, and that just can't happen. You will lose. This tank might have actually run out of ammunition at this point. They killed so many freaking people. Let's turn the clipping off so I can go through this bush. Oh my god, yeah, if you ever wondered what was underneath CARENTAN, it's this. Still putting so much pressure over here, but they kind of down a tank now. Of course, they've still got that AT gun in H7 keypad 1, which is very important for them. But the Panzer IV just below us in the ditch by Jubei's corpse just took out the half track. I think that was the half track. They're just going to take it out below us. Shame they can't get a mark on it. G Threepwood, I don't know if that's the same Threepwood who was playing for What the Hell or PBS or whoever he played for. G Threepwood played for PBS? I forget now. Maybe he's changed. Like I say, BMOS has its appeal for sure. They're going to get straight into the firing line of the AT gun here, this Panzer IV. Although somebody's come off the AT gun now, you can see basically where the AT gun is, like where Jubei and all the rest of them just spawned in here. It's like right next to the garrison. It's just there, like on the little black marker you can see. But the important thing is here for the Panzer IV is that they kind of got around the back a little bit, and that's largely because the 75 it had to leave, but it has come back now. Or maybe it's a different 75. I'm not sure. Let me just check on the map. Yeah, so quick nicks now in a 75, not streaming incidentally. Okay, so that's the AT gun, just got taken down there. Ooh, and shots in from the Tiger now across the field, taking out the 76. I think they kind of got the drop on them there a little bit, but yeah, that Tiger that's over here in this this kind of water area just killed them, I believe. Quite surprised. Oh, there's another tank over here, so maybe, so I think over here, so, oh no, this is an AT gun. So you can see again, like these AT guns are just so powerful. Really good addition to the game now that they've kind of buffed those. They were a bit crap before, not gonna lie, but because they needed 100 supplies for a while, and then they just didn't have like the firepower to do anything to the heavier tanks, but they really do now, as you can see. Let's go over to rail crossing because it looks like something might be on as a sort of attack over here. It doesn't look terribly threatening, but there are some players amassing over here to the sort of east and northeast in front of us. The Phalanx squad still on attack, it looks like. Just over half an hour remaining in the game. Let me just check on the stream. Hopefully, oh nice, Tumainen Gaming redeemed a shout out on community. Hey Tumainen, what clan are you with? Let me shout you out. Fins Let Loose, of course. Nice. Yeah, Fins Let Loose, ladies and gentlemen. So Finnish community, as you can probably tell, going from strength to strength at the moment. So they're on 2-0 at the moment in their. They're on a winning streak in the Hell Let Loose Spring Seasonal, which is awesome to see because in the last seasonal they kind of went out a bit early, but they had like a lot of promise, a lot of potential. They've been around for quite a number of years now. They kind of took the lessons that they learned from that those defeats in the last seasonal back in kind of October, November time. And they've come back like really strong. We had their commander Deepuka on our show a couple of weeks ago. There's been a bit of a hiatus in the spring seasonal due to the kind of global events at the moment, but before the hiatus we had him on the stream, which was really awesome, and like, you know, gave us some fascinating insights into like their process and how they kind of learn, how they get better all the time. And you know, all my interactions, literally every interaction with every Fins Let Loose player, super positive. They're like a great bunch of people. good at the game, have like a really good attitude, as I say, to like learning, taking those kind of hard lessons sometimes from defeat, from even those quick like steamrolls and things like that. Like they're so good at picking up what they need to learn, and not being, staying humble, basically, not being like too arrogant to put these things into practice, not being too arrogant to kind of admit mistakes. They're not saying, oh, we just got unlucky. They're saying, what did we do wrong? How do we learn from that? And that's, to be honest, not only is that kind of commendable on like a moral level, it's a recipe for success, guys. Like, they are 2-0 in the tournament at the moment. They beat Team Phoenix, which is a really promising, really, really good team in the qualifying stage on this very map at the weekend. And they lost the centre point early on, and they struggled and struggled and struggled to get a good attack together. They had a few really decent attempts. They had good interplay between their tanks, their artillery, their infantry. Just couldn't get it done until the end, and they pushed the whole time, and they recapped train station with, I want to say derail train, but that's a different map. They capped, oh no, it's a different point on the same map. What's the one on Hill 400? Train wreck? I forget. Similar concept. But yeah, they won back train station like right at the end with 9 minutes to go. They managed to get that attack finally consolidated. They used the artillery really well, they used their tanks really well, they used their infantry really well, they kept the pressure up the whole game. They didn't lose their point that they were defending the whole game either, enabling them to keep trying to stage attacks. Like, great community, really promising. So exciting to see them do it well in the tournament. It sounds like a ball maybe coming over the top. Could just be a recon plane if I can sort of figure out my controls here. Perhaps not, maybe it's just really, really close to the camera, so it sounded super loud. Might just be supplies coming down behind us somewhere. Lots and lots and lots of markers here. I guess that Paz and 4 is kind of like still roaming about, cutting around in H8. Good attack though here from the Axis. Again, being whittled down a little bit. Gonzo goes down to a trade. Shizgara here, kind of pushing in, doing probably a sensible thing and waiting for support, because again, if you're trickling in, it's a 1v5 instead of like a 7v5 that we're about to see, or like an 8v7, whatever we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So kind of numerical advantage actually here for the attackers, but as they get whittled away before they get into the circle, and great recon plane, by the way, by the allies underneath us. Literally, you can see they've highlighted all these players over here, like really, really well. There's even some back here where the garrison used to be. You see somebody went for it over there. Yeah, the Phalanx Squad and El Professor over there. Professor throwing a smoke, it looks like, but getting smacked in the face for it. Zorbas with the machine gun going for the mad plays. He's got a lot of ammo, so all Tom has to do is kind of stay in cover enough. Yeah, there you go, so gets the kill. But good play here from the Axis, from being in a position where they've got a lot of pressure to actually contesting over here, and they are taking it back, they are contesting it, they are kind of winning the Axis. Like, it's very, very much hanging in the balance below us at rail crossing. I know maybe it doesn't seem like it because we've got a lot of players. You see Nian, Jinton, Havoc, Crossbow, etc. They all seem like they're kind of like not in a fight necessarily, but they're doing enough to like keep capping it at the moment. I think we'll probably see a reinforce come down. Yeah, there is a reinforce on rail crossing at the moment, but they really got to stop the Axis here from taking these buildings, taking the road, because it's really, really hard. Like, we've seen the Axis have been struggling to push into that area the whole, not the whole game, but like for a long time. So the last thing that the Allies want to do is concede these buildings. See that a bunch of people spawned in the OP here. They need to get these kills and get those trades, because again, the Allied OP is like in the back garden here. The Axis OPs are outside of that whole area. Oh my god, bombing run over at the other point, La Maison, which is being capped still. Hello. Just trying to sort my stuff out. I'm not convinced by this attack over here by the Allies. Like, yeah, they are kind of trickling in and they are getting a bit of contesting going, but it's not really like meaningful. Nothing like this over here at Rail Crossing. I mean, look, the Axis have still got people inside the circle, and that's dangerous. That's always dangerous. You can see the garrison's hot. Rail Crossing is like almost capped at this point, and there's going to be a lot of players out of position because they're all over in J7 at La Maison, and when it gets capped in just a sec, oh my god, they're taking it back. They need to get these players in the circle. You can see all of these blueberries spawned in below us, but they need to get inside the circle now. They're not going to make it. They are there for the counterattack, but every single person who's outside of that counterattack needs to get back to train station now, because you can see this half track has actually gone red, and this is where we get the flip-flop, because this fins that loose squad, what the hell, Vicox, etc., DC, Nvidia, Walken, oh, Wakanda perhaps, they are pushing hard on train station. Sorry, Wakanda. Literally just like, what? Walk in the park. Like, what was I even going to say? Empit's there, like, he knows, the commander knows he can place markers, like, he's aware that he's going to be pushed right now, but one versus however many, like, it's not looking good, and he's just used his his reinforcer course at Rail Crossing a minute ago. They are in a cap race though, so if they can get Rail Crossing back quick enough, and especially if Dog Squad can stay alive back there and keep that OP up, they will be able to eventually build a garrison over there on J8 if they do take it back. Empit goes down, there's literally no hope now here at train station, unless, like, if they start losing this capping race, they're screwed at train station. House Gangster trying desperately probably to get either a Gary up or something. I mean, they've got the garrison up here in D7, but nothing else. He needs supplies. He's only he's a squad leader, but he's only a squad leader for a recon, so he can't play supplies. Quicknix though, with the quick thinking, running in to try and play some supplies, takes a couple of shots though, which is always risky because it's giving his position away to Vicox. Maybe he knows he's under fire from somewhere, and yeah, it takes him out before he can place the supplies down. I mean, you can't see it from his position. Perhaps he got spotted or whatever, but like oftentimes you just want to kind of keep your head down. I mean, House Gangster is literally a pro and not shooting anybody. He won't mind me even saying that. He just doesn't have the machine, doesn't have the frame, so it's not part of his game plan to be shooting people particularly. He just needs to be in the right place, building the garrison, etc. And you can see that he's managed to get a garrison down in that back garden, which will allow a few people to spawn in, but they've taken Rail Crossing now. Dog Squad does die by La Maison d'Orns, which is unfortunate, because right now could be literally standing on top of the supplies and building a garrison and everyone redeploying and finish this baby off, but instead chose to push in and get killed. But hey-ho. Not the play that I personally would have made, but like I said a second ago, you can't see what's happening on the ground. Like, we can't see where the red berries are on this map, so you know, could have literally been under fire the entire time trying to defend the OP, etc. So many people inside Rail Crossing is crazy, but he needs Guybrush Threepwood here. Like, massive shout out for the name. I mean, I absolutely love the Monkey Island games. Controversial choice maybe, but the third one, Curse at Monkey Island, is maybe my favourite game like ever. Just the music, the art style, like the story, the like comedy of it, absolutely freaking love that. Like the crazy puzzles, oh my god, like if you can complete that without any kind of like hints or tips or walkthrough or any kind of like help from anybody, oh my god, join Mensa. Like, we need you on the Fusion project. Like, please come to the International Space Station, you are a smart motherfucker. Alright, so it's instantly hot then, because Wakanda perhaps is like right next to it. How he's managed to get all the way back over here after we just saw him a second ago in train station and already kind of pushing his Gary. I mean, he could hear it, I think. You literally hear it, yeah. So he's going to take it out. Fantastic play from him. Threepwood, the problem is, like, because these will get hot whenever somebody's within 100 meters, you don't know that somebody is literally on it. Why is it still there on the map? Okay, Wakanda just gave up on taking it down. That's weird. That's very weird. Maybe Vaddy said, like, don't worry, I'll take it down, but unless he's like he could have placed a satchel on it, which is kind of a cold tactic. Because if he's placed a satchel and then it goes green again and people can spawn in, then they will all die. The problem with that obviously is that Vaddy and Aquila's underneath us are both with 100 yeah, he placed a satchel charge on it. So nobody did end up spawning in on it, but that would be an absolute dirty play. What we got here sounds like a bombing run. Yeah, so this is the Axis bombing run, the Red Berry bombing run. Taking out a lot of people over here at Rail Crossing, but not backed up particularly by much. We've got some Finlandese players below us. Shout out to them, of course. kind of pushing in, but I don't think there's going to be enough of them there, and certainly not like close enough together to do much damage. Yeah, man, nice. I saw your Fin Let Loose to main. Thank you for redeeming the channel points. That's awesome. You're literally the first person ever on the stream to redeem channel points, which I think is pretty cool. Not a bad accolade. I'm sorry, I can see that we've got some alerts here. We've like been losing some frames and blah blah blah, but hey, stuff happens. It'll be fine. Thanks for the follows, by the way, mates. Andy earlier, Dieter as well. Like, shout out massively to everybody who followed yesterday as well. I can't see everybody, but like there's a lot who followed yesterday, which is really really cool. Like the stream is literally growing, guys, like crazy. I think what 3-4 months ago I had like 100 followers, maybe like 80 followers, something, maybe not even that, like 50, I don't know. Like, so thank you so much for the support. It's really encouraging. Like, I haven't had much negative feedback for a while, although I think the laptop might be, you know, incurring some feedback, let's say, when people come to watch the VOD. But do let me know, like, if there's stuff that I'm doing well or doing badly and you'd like to see differently. I'll try and show the map as much as possible, or like not as much as possible, and I'll just sit on the map the whole time, but you know, like a decent amount, so you can kind of see the garrison placement, discuss the tactics. My main thing, of course, is tactics. I'm not kind of concentrating on like a lot of like real close in the action stuff, especially today. Yeah, like this is not a good example. Like normally on the stream we do follow some of the action a bit more closely than this. I just don't like to be messing around with like this, you know, because I can't control the speed that easily of the camera and stuff, so I can't get in really close very easily and things like that. The trackpad doesn't always register my finger, but try and kind of like keep a good mix here, but primarily I'm focusing on the tactics, you know, looking at the bird's eye view, as it were, because at the end of the day, like, this game is, well, in my mind, you know, there's two kinds of people that play Hell Let Loose, really. I mean, there's probably more than that, like, let's be honest, but like, I'm going to break them into two broad camps. There's the people that love real-time strategy, and there's the people that love first-person shooters. For somebody like me who loves literally both of those things, this game is freaking amazing, and I think that's probably true for like most people. But the real-time strategy element of it is, to me, like, at least, if not the more interesting thing, then I feel like it's the thing that you don't see as well from being on the ground. And so having the opportunity to have the admin cam up here with a bird's eye view, to look at the map, to look at what's happening, look at some of these tank plays, you know, zip around and have a look at like some crazy AT gun over in J4 shooting a tank in freaking H8, like, that's awesome. So I like to kind of focus a lot more on the bird's eye view and stuff. We've got a 76 below us. I just heard it go off, and I can see it there on the map in G7, keypad 8 or numpad 8. Sorry, I know some people do get pernickety about the keypad versus numpad argument, looking at you, Torfisk, but, you know, you get what I'm saying. Really spread out over here underneath us at rail crossing. I guess with 19 minutes left on the clock, they just figure, the allies here below us in blue, they figure, well, we need to make sure that we're not going to lose rail crossing, so let's get back, let's consolidate, let's move people up from the Garys, let's clear them out, let's, you know, we've got good Gary positions on the, you know, on the mouse here that you can see, like, it's well surrounded. If one goes down, they've always got other options of getting back to the point. They don't have one right on the point, they can get like destroyed by a bomb or something like that, but you know, they have got them in good position, so they can kind of run in if they need to, and they're just literally, it looks like, trying to kind of clear it out, trying to keep some pressure, of course, still up over here on the Maison, because like we've mentioned about 10 times at this point, attack is one of the best forms of defense in this game. Lost this plane that's just gone over the top of us. That is a recon, so that's probably the, oh yeah, it's definitely the Axis recon, because we can't see any dots on the map or any recon plane or anything, so that's, we saw it fly like this way, right? It's over there in the distance, so they're just flying basically over La Maison to try and do the same thing. You know, as far as the Axis are going to be thinking, oh, I've like messed up my speed here, what do I do? There you go. As far as the Axis are going to be thinking, probably, you know, this is going to be like one of their last moments for kind of consolidating a really good attack. So they're going to be wanting to clear out La Maison so that, again, they can abandon it, basically, like get most of their people on the attack, because it's getting close to the end of the game. If they're ever going to have a chance of taking the middle point, you know, they're going to have to get back this rail crossing pretty quickly. It's going to be tough, though. I mean, look at all these blueberries below us on rail crossing. This is a supply plane flying over here, dropping supplies over this way. We can see they do have a spawn here, and this is what they're trying. PKKA, I'm interested to see like what they do here. Sometimes I feel like they can be a little bit independent from the other squads, but it is important really for them here to wait for the supplies to come down, to build that garrison, to try and take out the garrison if they can in G5, and not to push in too quickly. You know, don't waste this attack, hold that area, wait for a backup, and then push in with like a lot of people. But we'll see what they do. I can see that the squad leader over there is remaining back, so that's a good sign that they're going to kind of fall back and build that garrison. You can see there's a garrison marker up already, roughly where the supplies are from the commander end pit here for the allies. Looking at rail crossing though, it's pretty empty of anyone. Seems like maybe slight miscommunication from the allies. They've kind of not abandoned it exactly, but like you can see below us, like item squad, able squad, etc., dog golf, they're all kind of pushing out this way. Mike has got very much distracted by this OP and kind of pushing out this way, and it's actually left this bereft of any defenders. But thankfully for them, it's not being pushed too hard at the moment. However, you know, we've spoken about how good La Delapen is and Abaddon, and they are kind of moving into this area where kind of perhaps who we saw with that awesome Gary destruction kind of up there to the top of the screen as well. Might be pushing down this way, but it looks like going to try and support the PKKA lot, where they built this garrison. Sorry, I hit the mic again there, so it's probably really loud. Where is that garrison? Okay, well that's where MPIT thinks it is. Not sure. Might see some people spawn in on it in a sec if they have managed to build it. Like I say, sometimes we're able to get the both maps up so you can kind of see, or at least I can see one of the other maps, so I can tell you like where it is. Did he just spawn in there? Or was that my thing failing to like render probably? Oh yeah, okay, so here's the garrison. You can just see it behind the wall here. I'm not going to try and get too close to it, but yeah, it's literally next to Pocket Wonder, so he's going to be able to hear that it's there. He's going to go around, try and kill it, but get shot in the back as he does so. Great defending of the garrison there. That's one of those ones where that garrison's been red hot for a little while, because it still is, because Heshi as well is within 100 meters of it, so they need to clear it out here, the axis, if anybody's ever going to spawn on it. Again, why it's so important to consolidate, keep around that area, wait for backup, etc., because you've got to keep that clear. You've got to keep those deep garrisons clear to make sure that they're not getting destroyed, that people aren't spawn blocking them, and we saw it, didn't we, like a second ago, where Wakanda was able to basically just run up to that garrison, because unfortunately Freeport just kind of, I don't know, left. Although for a recon squad, like, it is harder to be that last line of defence on the Gary, because there's only two of you, and one of you has like such an unwieldy gun, especially in the case of the German sniper. ADS time on that thing is about as good as the frames on this PC. Just checking the stream now. I think we've got some more notifications of how badly it's all going, but thank you Internet Wi-Fi, by the way. Like, big shout out to the Hotel Indigo for their amazing Wi-Fi. I literally did a speed test on it earlier. It's better than my Wi-Fi at home, I think. That is Wi-Fi at home, just to clarify, not Wi-Fi at home. She's long gone. Too much gaming. Rail crossing is being capped, but kind of defending it now, it looks like. Oh, press Alt Tab instead of just Tab. What do you guys have your map and everything mapped to on the key bindings? I feel like so many people have it on M still. That's like the default key bind. I don't know how you can play this game with your map on M. Like, you have to be like a concert pianist. You have to look at it every 10 seconds. I feel like that's how I kill a lot of people in this game, because they're like reaching for M whilst I'm pressing tab and instantly seeing them and shooting them. All I've done is swapped around my tab and my M, so I get the scoreboard on M. What do you guys do? Interesting. Rail crossing could easily go down here, and it's 13 minutes to go, and if they can get that steamroll again, you can see that they're taking out the garrison here in F5. I don't know, was there one up here before? I forget. This is a great half-track placement, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal for half-track placement. For defence, really, really smart. You know, we spoke before about how having garrisons within that radius around a point is so important. Yeah, it's gone down now in F5. Look, the PKK squad, they've done it. They've done it really well here. They've managed to do what they had to do over there. I can see, I don't know if they've defended that, maybe not. Yeah, perhaps someone satcheled outside of the wall or something like that. But like, they've managed to still get over here nonetheless. Still pose a real problem at rail crossing. They're about to get back up from the front here with this what the hell squad pushing up. Reformed game with the squad leader of that squad, like absolutely slapping Make and Kale and all this lot, trying to run back across the fields, trying to get back in defence. They do have that garrison still though, just below us, and some of them have managed to run back and get over there. King squad also have their OP inside rail crossing. I'm not sure if they've got enough for another reinforce here. Yes, they do, supplies-wise, have enough for a reinforce, but whether it's free on the cooldown or not, I don't know. Maybe the commander could tell us that. I hear there's 76 over here again, just out here slapping. Oh no, look, it's another AT gun. Another AT gun. Is that Quick Mix on the AT gun below us? Yes. Nice. Played really well today, Quick Mix. He's been literally everywhere, like messing people up, putting down supplies, building garries, driving tanks, all of that. Couldn't have done that if he was streaming, could he? Big thanks to Ninja Pulver, by the way, for streaming on the other side. Massive thanks, as always, to everybody involved in organising Squadline Battle. Werner Voss, Dragster especially. Anybody else, S1 as well, like, fucking amazing last week, sorting it all out. We had a bit of a problem with, like, Discord globally shitting the bed, and yeah, he managed to sort everything out, got us like backup servers to play on and everything, like set up the stream so I could capture the game and everything. Absolutely phenomenal. So massive thanks to them, and huge shout out as well just to Squadline Battle in general. You know, I mentioned earlier like the format of the game. I briefly touched on the fact that there are 2 servers, but there haven't always been 2 servers. You know, like, it's growing as a format, it's growing, and it's been around a long time. This is maybe like the 2nd or 3rd sort of, I don't know, people who are like caretakers of it, you know, in charge of Squadline Battle, and they're doing a fantastic job, really, really great, and it's amazing to see it grow so much and be so successful, and you know, thank you for doing all that for nothing. You know, if there was a way that I could say like go support Werner Voss and Dragster and S1 and all these people, like I would, but unless there's some sort of tip page that I don't know about, we just have to say massive thank you. So, okay, Recon's gone over. They're still pushing at Amazing Durham. Look, still going for the 5-0, which is definitely commendable here with 9 minutes left on the clock, although somewhat questionable because, as I mentioned before, defending is probably the order of the day here. With 9 minutes or just about 10 minutes remaining, it is technically possible to complete this cap, like so for the access to complete the cap here at rail crossing, fall back and take train station as well, or push up and take train station, I should say. So kind of a bit fine maybe here, the Allies, but again, using their attack as a form of defence, perhaps trying to keep some of these players busy defending their maison. What's this that I hear going over? It sounds very bombing-ish to me. Yes, it is bombing-ish. There it is. Clearing out that road. Oh my god, they're literally trapped there. Is it going to get him far as well? That was unlucky not to kill like way more people over there, but they're definitely doing a good job of capping it over here. They are on for the double cap, like I say. If they get rail crossing, I already know that there's a few people over towards train station. or at least Vistic is over here with the ability to build a garrison. They possibly have supplies over here too. Maybe relying heavily on that really great placement of the half track and the garrisons and stuff back here, but you can see like lost rail crossing now again. The Axis, the Allies, excuse me, the Axis taking it. You know, this is the thing about squad line battle. We've got 8 minutes to go. We've had 4-1, then we've had 3-2, then we've had 4-1. Could be a steamroll on reverse here. You know, like, it's gone the whole length, the hour and a half. Like, it's such an interesting format, such a hard playing format. You know, people really putting in the work when they come play squad line battle. It's not just like, oh yeah, chill out. It's like sweat. You know, you're gonna get that gamer goo all over your mouse when you're playing on here. So huge for them. You made me change my in-game tag as you kept calling me pregnant Lee. Nice. Pregnant lava. I'm so sorry, bro. I swear to God that was like one time. It was like one game, but it probably was about 8 times in that one game. So yeah, sorry about that. What's your in-game name now? Pregnant Lee. Please tell me it's Pregnant Lee. I swear it didn't even, like, there's only like 8 characters or something, so I didn't even get to the end of pregnant. I think I just called you pregnant. Or prego. Or something. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yo, so look at this attack that's just about to happen on train station, and this is still all to play for. 7 minutes on the clock, it takes 2 minutes to cap a point. What does that tell you? Looking at the garrisons, they've still got good garrisons here though, in defence, but they've marked this airhead that's coming down, or roughly marked it. I think Liege is in a great position to get it. The one thing that the airhead needs to do here is not draw every single fucking player running across the field towards it. There needs to be some coordination. One person only needs to take that airhead out, not 15. And look how many people have just run out of the point and basically just abandoned train station to this attack. So fantastic use of an airhead there to literally like draw half the team away from the point that you're attacking. Really interesting stuff. I don't know if that was the intent, but train station has been utterly abandoned here by the Allies, and they're now having to push in across open fields towards buildings, getting shot. You just saw your medic go down. 76 right next to him has realised, oh wait, I'm supposed to be attacking this point now, or defending this point, because we're losing it. Yes, they are taking back rail crossing. Yes, they're winning the cap race here, but possibly not for long, looking at how many Axis players there are over here at train station. The thing that the Axis need to do, as always, is get their players inside that circle. They need to get them in there. They've got to be in these kind of buildings back here. All these people running up, it's so slow sometimes to run up in this game, and it's really tricky. You know, when you see the really high level competitive plays, that's why they use all of these kind of spawn hops, where they'll have like a bunch of squad leaders, or they'll have one person as a squad leader. They'll get their OP up, then they'll start kicking people. Like as they spawn in, they'll kick them from the squad, allowing the space for another person, and they'll bring them in, kick them from the squad as soon as they spawn, etc. And you can, you know, use one OP to spawn a ton of people. You get your supplies down, you get your garrisons up, you get other squad leaders in, etc., etc. You know, you've got to think like, it's all coming down to like seconds. It's a real-time strategy game. It comes down to the seconds, and you know, it's the same thing where you're talking about like driving a truck or something like that. If you stop in your truck, you want to turn the engine off, right? Because you don't want somebody hearing your truck. But equally, you don't want to have to really stop the truck and then like start up again slowly, because you have to work through the gears. So what you want to do is like have your engine off, jump back in the truck, turn the engine on, press space, hold the accelerator so you get up to like, you know, 5th gear, then you can let go and you like speed off, whilst your friend outside is like building the Gary. He jumps in while you're still pressing like W and holding spacebar, and you're in 5th gear, and then you're straight off. You're driving like outside of the map to get to places quicker. You're taking advantage of the 30-second off the map, you know, def timer basically for vehicles. You know, all these things where you're just working in that super tight timings, and basically what it boils down to, like with any real-time strategy, and you know, I'm sorry to say this for all my first-person shooter heads, like, and don't get me wrong, we said even yesterday on the recapping show, first-person shooter skill and being able to shoot in this game and stay alive especially is so important, but not as macro important. I mean, yes, there's a baseline of it, but like overall, the thing when everybody can shoot well, when everybody knows how to stay alive, when everybody knows this, the thing that comes down to which teams are amazing and which teams do really, really well in comp is their coordination, is those timing factors, and whether it's timing your airhead so that it falls into smoke artillery fire that's already come down, so it's already hard to see. There's already a squad there waiting, like guarding that area. Maybe they're even pushed up past the smoke so that they know exactly where the enemy are going to be running in from, so they can shoot before they even get to the smoke. Maybe there's a tank waiting there for people to start spawning in. You know, like we spoke about the PKKA squad a minute ago, where it was really important for them to wait, and all those things when it comes down to like that really impeccable timing, you know, respawning, like having that knowledge to just say, right, I need to redeploy. You know, you have a cooldown timer on your redeploy, using that to your advantage. Okay, so a minute left in the game. Unless they start to cap within this minute, like before the 2-minute mark, then they're not going to get it here, but they're throwing everything at it. As you can see, the Axis here, the Allies have managed to get back into a good spot. Like we said before, they've got good spawns here. They've actually pulled up another half track there on Jig outpost in E8, which is nice to see. Gary right in the middle has stayed strong that whole time. Shout out to Gangster for building that little defensive bad boy. Right there by Yan below us. I'm gonna stay off the map for this last little section, just so we can kind of see like what plays out here in terms of, you know, the berries and where they're coming in from, what the attack is saying. But actually, I've waffled too long, and we're already within the 2 minutes, so it is going to be a 3-2 here for the Allies on CARENTAN, server 2, scoring no battle. But yeah, like really, really well played by all the gamers out there today. Let's see who deserves a shout out. I mean, we've seen Quicknits do some crazy stuff. We've seen House Gangster save this point maybe twice. Build some interesting Garys really deep. Have some good half-track plays. That tank squad, oh my god, the 76 tank squad over there on the hill by Baker Outpost and that AT gun in G8, like crazy. I don't know how many tanks they took out, but a lot. You know, whoever built those AT guns by the HQ spawn over in J4 or J3, like what? That's crazy. I can't believe you can get a sight line from there. Like genius. So yeah, and who did we say before? Wakanda perhaps, like, destroyed that Gary, you know, was also instrumental in the attack on train station initially. You know, I mean, we can always expect, like, DC players to be good, basically, like, that's their whole deal. But, I mean, I'm trying to think, like, who else we've seen. That PKKA squad, like, well played by them. Of course, the Finn Let Loose guys down there playing, like, great play by them too, so really nice to see from both teams, like, really sweated on it today, really fought hard, even right to the last here, you know. Okay, we're hearing some fire going off in the air now for a bit of a celebration and the GGs and the game chat, but it's been a hard one today. And, well, I say today, like, it's not always hard. It's always hard. If this is what you're into, if you want to play these sweaty kind of games, but without all that business of, like, the drama and the, you know, the commitment and all that of competitive, or, like, that extra level of coordination and everything, Squad Line Battle. Applications open tomorrow. Come along next week. I will be back at home. I will have a better PC. You can catch yourself on the stream. Let's just have a little look at some of the squads here before they all leave, whilst we're still in the commendation thing. Make sure to pause the stream appropriately. I will just scroll through both sides because people immediately leave the server after everything's awarded. But yeah, make sure you, like, pause it on the replay or whatever, like if you clip it or whatever, like if you want to see. Kill the commander 6 times, says Cody from Demos. Yikes. Jubei says GG, well played everyone. Like I said before, Demos, really great community. But, like, fantastic play from both teams here. Who's that down the bottom? The Finn Let Loose squad. Oof. Yikes. Was it them with the AT gun? Oh my god. Where's that tank squad? They've got to be the sort of the gamers of the match, right? Chill music there. Oh my god, in Charlie's squad, 4,772 combat effectiveness. How many tanks does that work out as? Oh my god. Yes, they're the players of the match. I think it's fair to say. Although item squad here as well with the DT squad, Weltmeister from Phoenix. Like, I mean, these scores are disgusting. Um, I don't know how many kills that boils down to, but a lot. From the other team too, like we've seen some really great plays. Like they didn't have as much like the level of shooters. I think probably fair to say that we've seen from the allies here, but fantastic from everybody. Thanks again to everybody who's followed. Yeah, M for map. No, to Madden. Like, trust me, bro. Put it on tab. Put it on tab, mate. Like, it will change your life. It's like ding 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 ding. You can turn it on and off, like, and run. Oh my god, it's incredible. So nice. Like, you don't need a scoreboard. Who cares? Who gives a crap about that? Put that on M. You need to look at that occasionally, and especially now, like when you're playing in the game, like you used to be able to see if you open up the scoreboard, you used to be able to see like the other team, and like what squads they had, who was in what squad, and like the distribution of squads to see like how many tanks they had and stuff. Now you can't even see that, so it's effectively pointless. Don't even need a keybind. But if you've got to have one, stick it on M, stick the map on tab, change your life. Map on mouse button for the win. That's disgusting, Andy. You're bad. I'm joking, but like what? Like mouse 4 or something? Like what the hell? But yeah, that's a new one for me. I feel like that's this right hand is like too precious for any other business, but like aiming and clicking. Um, I don't want to be like getting in a twist with my map or whatever, like when it comes down to the mouse. But I am especially uncoordinated, so it's I'm not representative maybe of like the general person. But like massive thanks to everybody who's been in the chat today. As always, like I can't really interact like ever so well because of the 15-minute delay, but like thank you so much for your support. Massive thanks to the people who followed. So Marek followed earlier, Don Ahone, or O1, or how do you say it, Don? You'll have to let me know. But thank you for the follow. Dieter, thanks for the follow. Mates, thanks for the follow. Andy, thanks for the follow. Magnet, so thank you so much for the support. Like I say, the stream here, like my casting, I'm trying to improve it all the time. Okay, we're in the hotel room today on the laptop, but like hopefully the production quality is like gradually improving over time. I'm certainly, I feel like improving as a caster. Let me know if you've got any kind of like preferences, hints, tips, whatever. I'll let you have the mouse on the map on tab thing for free. Maybe you could reciprocate in some way. But thank you so much for the support. It's so good to see like the growth of the stream and like building a community around it, getting people in the chat. Like it's so much fun to do. And I've got to say, like, huge thanks to the organisers of the seasonal as well, because like I never would have got into this without Heidi just being like, hey, does anybody want to have a go? And massive thanks to House Gangster as well for like putting me up to it. And well played to him today as well. But of course, like the gamers of the game has to go to that tank squad. Who was it? Chill Music in his tank squad. Oh my days! Was it 4,700 and something combat effectiveness? Disgusting. Like what? How many infantry kills did they get on La Maison? I dread to imagine. So many. They had to go back for more high explosives, I'm pretty sure. So that was mental. But thank you ever so much for watching. If you're watching the VOD, that's thank you very much for watching too. Like most of the views come from the VOD. Don't forget to like, okay, you can't chat or whatever, so like you don't need to like follow to chat. And the reason why it's follower only for chat, by the way, is like because otherwise I get so many bots. But like chatting and being like, oh hey, do you want to purchase followers? Like no thanks. But like drop a follow, support the stream. It will be available on YouTube in the coming week or couple of weeks. So don't panic. Like if you don't manage to get your friends to like see it in time or whatever, make sure you like put do clips and stuff like that so you can like show other people, share them on the Discord for Squadline Battle, and make sure to come along tomorrow and sign up for Squadline Battle as well for next week. Like I say, we've got 2 servers at the moment, but there's nothing to say that there couldn't be more in the future. I mean, last week, like I said, we had a problem with the servers. We managed to get 2 more servers at like the drop of a hat. So if there's enough people, we can do more servers, I'm sure. So sorry, Werner, for saying that if it's already such a nightmare, but I'm sure we can. Make sure you go check out Ninja Pulver as well, and his recording. drop him a follow, show him support. Go over to server one. I don't know if they're still playing right now, probably not at this point, but Heave and Hammer was casting that one. I don't know if anybody else was, but make sure to check that out too. Apply tomorrow. Bring your squads, unless you're just a single person, in which case, please be commander. We're always crying out for commanders. Honestly, if I wasn't doing this streaming, I would be playing commander on this server week in, week out. Like, this is the place to come to earn your stripes, to learn your trade as a commander. Like, there's no shame in the wins or the losers on this game. Like, this is the place to come. Okay, if you want to slap pubs, then go play pubs. If you want to really be like an amazing commander for competitive, then yeah, this isn't gonna like get you to that. But like, if you're at that stage in between where maybe you're like a level 10 commander in public games, like you played a lot of public games, like I'm a level 10 commander in public games, but maybe you're like not affiliated with a community, maybe you want something to say like, yeah, hey, look, commander is my position, like I want to show that I'm good at it. Come to squad line battle, play week in, week out. We've had some people who've come to squad line battle, play as commander week in, week out, and start to get really good. I mean, I'm thinking specifically of Fucksec here, who's now playing for What the Hell. He came along. I can't even remember who he was affiliated with at the start. I don't think anyone. But he started just like first game out. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to play Commander." Came back the next, like he won almost partly by accident or like based on the ability of the squads. For hey, I'm going to like look at why I won, but also like what I did wrong. Come back stronger next week. Came back the next week, steamrolled. Been back again, lost again, but in a much, or lost for the first time, but in like a much more kind of like, hard fought game, like really learning from it. Like, it's a fantastic place to come and learn how to be a commander, but also come play whatever you want. Like, there's no pressure clearly, but like, you just either bring your squad of people, so that can be your community teammates or whatever, or it can just be people that you play with on like your own little Discord or whatever, or just put the word out and see if there's any other like single riders out there who can like team up with. But come as a squad, just apply. Application will be open tomorrow, and we'll see you next week hopefully. I've been Garthnix. Thank you again for all the support. Thanks to the organisers as always, and thank you for watching. I will catch you next week.